Hi, this is Matt from tracymatt.co.uk and from unboxes.com, and here I have the Toshiba TG01, or Toshiba Tsunagi as it's internally known by Toshiba. This one, obviously, as you can see, is an orange branded product, but obviously there is an unlocked version available, so we're just doing a quick unbox for you now. So the handset itself is immediately on top. As you can see, it's pretty big, but we'll come back to it in just a second. Just want to see what else is in the box. We obviously have the SIM card supplied by Orange, and we have a battery. Now, interestingly, the battery is pretty small. It's 1000 milliamp hour. It's quite small considering the size of the actual handset. We then have a micro SD card adapter with a micro SD card inside. The micro SD card is an 8 gig micro SD memory card, which actually does come supplied, which is quite cool. So opening up the rest of the box, in the bottom we have a step-by-step guide supplied by Orange, kind of a getting started guide if you like. Then there is actually a Toshiba quick start guide and a warranty card, legal and safety information, a user guide on CD-ROM, and then finally there's a getting started disc for the TG01 with Windows Mobile software, ActiveSync and Windows Mobile Device Center. That's all in the box there. Then in this white portion, if we can figure out how to open it, we have, there we go, we actually have the back cover for the handset, and then we have a USB sync charge cable, which is standard USB to micro USB. We have a stylus, which interestingly doesn't insert into the device. It is actually on like a lanyard, and also has a little clip on it, so you can, if you want, put it in your pocket. We then have this adapter, which is a micro USB style adapter to USB. There's a set of headphones, which are standard 3.5mm jack on one end, and then pretty standard average looking headphones on the other end. There's this inline microphone, so that's got a micro USB style connector on one end, an inline microphone with a push button and a clip. Notice there's no volume control on there, but it does have a 3.5mm headphone adapter socket there, so you could use this in order to use your own headphones with the handset. And then finally we have a standard wall charger, 3-pin in this case obviously because we're in the UK, and that has a micro USB style connector on that for charging up the handset. So let's bring the handset over itself, and as you can see, it's kind of a beast. It's an extremely large device, one of the largest I've seen, probably one of the largest Windows Mobile devices in terms of the screen, a 4.1 inch screen. I think probably only the HTC Advantage has got a screen that's larger. But let's just pop the battery in place. The micro SD card goes in here, and the SIM card goes in here, and the battery goes in this cavity like so. It does look like you would have to, you'd have to remove the battery in order to get it to the micro SD card, so you can't hot swap the micro SD card. Which is a bit of a shame. It is something I think most people would prefer, to be able to hot swap the micro SD card, but there we go. So that's the back cover installed. Taking a look around the handset then, on the front we have our loudspeaker just at the top. Then we have a 4.1 inch display, as I say, one of the largest I've seen. It is actually 480 by 800 pixels. Below that we have like this touch sensitive area, although they're actually not physical buttons, but it's a touch sensitive area. So you've got your home and your back button, and this like little navigation area. Down the left hand side we have the power button and an up and down volume control rocker. So if we just hold down the power button, hopefully it will turn on. There is a small vibrate from inside, but as I just turn that on, so obviously we do have a vibrate function. There's a dedicated camera button on the right hand side, and then there is this cover over the micro USB sync charge and headphone socket. On the back we have a 3.1 megapixel camera, not terribly high res, as you can see. Obviously 3.1 is not fantastic. So there is no flash. There is a shiny area around the lens itself though, so if you do want to take self-portraits you probably can. On the back we have a small grille which is actually the loudspeaker, so when it rings you can hear it. While we're just waiting for that to turn on, let's run down the rest of the specification. As most of you will probably know, the TG01 has the fastest processor available in a Windows Mobile handset. It's a 1000 MHz processor, it's a Snapdragon processor, so it is, as I say, the fastest that is available at the moment. In terms of weight, considering the size of the handset, the weight is quite surprising. It's actually only 129 grams. Dimensions are 70mm wide, 125 from top to bottom, and as you can see it's extremely thin, just 9.9mm thick. One of the slimmest handsets I've seen at any other size, so that's pretty cool and rather impressive. ROM capacity is 512 megabytes and the RAM capacity 256 megabytes, so that's also quite cool. Coupled with that fast processor, I expect that to work quite well. As I say, 4.1 inch diagonal display, 480 by 800 pixels, and as you can imagine, that's going to be quite good for using sat nav, because we do have built-in GPS, City GPS and Quick GPS chipset. So you know, using that with this handset with that large screen in car will be quite impressive with sat nav. Quad band for GSM, so it'll work pretty much everywhere throughout the world, and as you'd expect, 3G and HSDPA support. USB 2.0 support, as well as Bluetooth 2 with A2DP and Wi-Fi 802.11b and G. And we can just get the screen to come on. As you can see, extremely large clear display. Tap the screen to set up. And while it's just going through the auto install, I suppose that a lot of people will make comparisons between the TG01 being, you know, a large touchscreen handset and say the iPhone. So actually bring the iPhone side by side. As you can see, the iPhone is smaller than the TG01 by quite a significant amount, really. As you can see, the TG01 is much bigger behind it, but it is a bit thinner. And in terms of weight, not really a great deal to choose. I think the iPhone is actually slightly heavier than the TG01, but as you can see in hand, TG01 is quite a beast of a handset. What I find quite interesting about the TG01 though also is that the screen is slightly lower on the face of the handset. It's, you know, there's more of a gap at the top than the bottom, so which is unusual. You would kind of expect it to be the other way around, where the display would normally be towards the top rather than towards the bottom, but you know, there's no big deal. So let's just OK that. As you can see, the display we just started up. We have these widgets down the side, which are pretty typical of the setup that Orange would put on a handset. We can obviously turn that off and go for a more classic style Windows Mobile. The phone keys are on either side of the display there, as you can see. So we've got a green and a red touch screen. Phone keys as touch sensitive items on the screen. Then you've got our dialer. Obviously we can do our dialing. Nothing terribly unusual there. And obviously we can come out of there, go back. Then we've got our start menu, we've got programs, and we've got Core Player already installed, which is quite cool. Adobe Reader, Contacts Backup, Java. Orange Maps already pre-installed. Home screen selected there. There's a video player, a video editor, a task manager. Fairly typical stuff. Windows Live there, and say pretty typical stuff in the programs menu. And then we have our settings menu, and we've got a location request, so that's obviously relating to the GPS. Sounds and notifications, today's screen, got a system, adjust motion sensor, backlight control, internal GPS, FreePad settings, external GPS settings, master clear, so obviously basically resetting motion sensor there as well, video quality settings, ordinary things there, wireless manager, USB to PC, and Wi-Fi control. So pretty ordinary, pretty standard. Down the side we've got navigator, and we can actually navigate through. And as I'm actually running through there, it's kind of haptic. There is a vibrate from inside, so that actually is as it's running through. And if I actually go into the calendar, see I've got standard calendar there, and we can personalize the display, and we can change the wallpaper and so on. And back into the Pro settings menu, Go to today. I can change it to theme for the TGA1 because we were set to orange. Then we can OK that. And we go back to the home screen. You can see that the theme's changed. Obviously the widgets are still down the side. So we can turn this all on and off, and obviously we can run other different shells and different things there like that, and obviously it's fully customizable. It's a standard Windows Mobile device in that respect in terms of the customization. So that's a very quick look at the Toshiba TG01. As I say, this one is on orange, but there are SIM unlocked versions available that will work on any network. And as you can see there, the screen has rotated as I've done that there. So it's interesting that that is throughout the entire of the OS that the screen rotates working. We'll have a review of the TG01 on tracyandmac.co.uk over the next couple of weeks. And if you're a fan of unboxing videos, check out the others that we have on unboxings.com.